G'day guys, my name's Josh. You can call me JaWoodle, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die in the brand new Alpha 19, where I am taking my first steps into a testing world, because I think it's about time we went and tried to figure out how we can get the killing corridor to work in Alpha 19. The fun pimps have come out and laid down the challenge. They have thrown the gauntlet down like Robin Hood smacking the Sheriff of Nottingham in the face with a big steel gauntlet, and said that they have patched out all the ways that you can like cheese the zombie AI to make a killing corridor base or whatever else kind of base, a zombie-proof force field as well. They've patched all that out, and that made me think, if they've just gone out there and patched out those exploits, they've probably opened the door to something else. So I am here after finally surviving the first Horde night, like legitimately in my playthrough, to figure out how we can bend the zombies to our will, how we can take advantage of how they think to better fight against them, or not fight against them at all if we so choose. So I've built myself a brand new empty world. There's nothing here just yet, but I'm sure there will be eventually. The only thing that is here is a nice little house for me to live in. It's got some couches, got some materials, got some all sorts of things. It's a nice modern looking place. That's not what we're here for. Let's find a space. Let's get building. First and foremost though, let's just see how they've patched out. Let's see how the zombies think now, then we can kind of work from there. So the first thing we've got to do is build ourselves a normal killing corridor, I suppose. It's been a little while since I built one, but it shouldn't be too hard. Pretty basic design. We should all know, I mean, I hope you know how it works by now. Essentially, a killing corridor is just a way to funnel all the zombies into one kind of killing field, or a corridor, and then you can have your way with them, you can shoot them, you can murder them, do whatever you want to do, but it usually incorporates some sort of design to stop the zombies from actually making it across from you. So either like a wedge tip drop, or back in Alpha 17, it was a 1/8 cube block drop. So some way to get the zombies to fall down, it resets their pathing and sends them back to the start. So they'll run in an infinite loop. Eventually, they will just start, well, I mean, they'll die. They'll never actually make it to you. It makes it all nice and safe. If you're a muppet like me, having something like that is a godsend. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's going to be the other side of this. So somewhere down here, like there. We go all the way up to the same heights. Now, I've talked about it before, but I'll quickly just explain it again. Whenever I build bases, I build it elevated, because that means that the zombies only have one way to come at me. Just like the garage in Wastelands back in Alpha 18, if you kind of make sure the zombies can only attack you from one direction, you're not running around like a chook with its head cut off, trying to find where all the zombies are coming from. Let's get rid of these ones here. Now, I am building out a flagstone as well, because I mean, some people on the internet seem to think that building out of different materials will change the way the zombies think, and when you're building something like this, it just doesn't. The zombies aren't going to beat on it anyway, but just to allay your your stupidity, I suppose, I'm going to come out and build all of this out of flagstone just to put your complaints to bed. Just bang the stairs all the way up to the top. This is just kind of like the chassis, the bare bones chassis of a killing corridor. It's a pretty recognizable design at this point. I mean, I have that design on a shirt somewhere in a cupboard, but that's kind of like just the basics that we're going to work with. So if you're completely new to this, that's kind of the easiest way to get the zombies funneled up to a way that you can kill them relatively easily. But normally, when I do this, I usually go around and build myself a little pyramid down at the bottom here out of stairs as well, purely because like the zombies like to get caught in little like corners and stuff like that. So like if they were running up here like this, they would get stuck here trying to get up onto that stairway there and beat their way through it. So we're going to try and avoid that by getting where's the other? Let's go like this. Stairs, that one there. Yep, you there, you there. Don't have to fill in the hole underneath. You can if you want to, not a massive deal, but just make sure that whichever angle they come from up here, they're going to hit some sort of stairs and get up there. Not super duper necessary. It will work without this. This is just my way of just kind of guaranteeing that the zombies will work exactly how I want them to. Make sure there's no unfortunate surprises. Right, and the last part of this is to go here, get the flagstone wedge tips, and to go advanced rotation and put it, oh, that was the wrong one. There we go. Thank God we have the back button now, and put these ones across like that. So that is the normal killing corridor. This worked for Alpha 17, it worked for Alpha 18. It was the bee's nipples when it came to like defending against the zombies nice and easily, but apparently they've changed the way that the zombies see the wedge tips now. Now, I read this in the patch notes, people have been tweeting me about it, it's all around the 7 Days to Die community, but this is the first time I'm going to run this test myself to see it firsthand. Let's get some Chelseas out there, get their attention. So they should, if what the patch notes tell me, they should run up and run straight across this without blinking an eye. So, oh, yeah, okay. Well, I mean, they do stutter a little bit, but not especially much. Alright, so 100% efficiency now getting across that. That's fine. I said this before in the old JaWoodle Park episodes, that a failed test is still good because it gives us information. So now we know that's what we're starting with. We can build from there. I kind of want to keep the same design though, because I mean, funneling the zombies is always a good idea. Funneling your enemies, regardless if you're defending a base, a castle in the Middle Ages, or I don't know, the plague or some shit. Putting it in an area where you can find it and destroy it, that's what you want to do. Actually, before we move on from that, I was going to try some different shapes and whatnot, but I think before we do, let's go back and put these ones back down like that. I just kind of want to experiment a little bit with how the zombies think about these wedge tips, because for all I know, all the fun pimps have done is gone, zombies can now path on steep wedges, and like, you know, haven't actually changed like the hitboxes or how they path on it, just said that they can, so that they still like, you know, calculate ways across it. So I'm curious, if I get the same wedge tips and I go, if it's still advanced rotation, and just go like, I want to put it up on the side like that. So put you there, let's get a couple going across there. Actually, let's go 3 high so they can't get around it. Go around the other side, just match that up on the opposite, get it all nice and symmetricality rise. Where are you? Where are you? Come on, give me the right one. Give me the right one. There we go. So I go like that. If I just funnel them into this little chute here, I need the half block, that one there, then hopefully that'll mean that when like, push comes to shove, when they get down to the wedge tips down there, they'll just kind of get thrown into the middle and not actually cause any issues. In fact, even, could I build that wall further out and then like they can't actually stand on the wedge tips, but they can still path on it because they think it's a block? I'll test that one in a second, but first and foremost, I want to test this one. Copper rotation, get you there as well. The sun's come up, the zombie doom is coming. I will find a way to get this working. All right, let's try that one. Fire the gun a couple times, get their attention. So they're still pathing up here, which is good. They're not getting caught down there, which is good. I was worried that they might decide to go for my pylon underneath. Oh, they still made it across. Okay, all right, interesting. They punched me in the face a little bit. That's not so bad. Well, all right. So if that's how they're doing it now, what happens if I just continue this wall out this way? Chels, can you just give us 2 seconds, love? I just realized that in the JaWoodle UI, if you look at the top there, she's actually been renamed Chelsea. Oh, that's fantastic. Every time I discover something new in the JaWoodle UI, I get just a little bit happier. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, let's go like that. Let's copper rotation. Let's build these walls a little bit more, so when I get here, they can't walk on that, and I'll hopefully fall down the bottom. I mean, it's not the most attractive thing I've ever built in my life. Not only is it built out of flagstone, which looks like the remnants of a kebab getting vomited up at 4 in the morning after a big night on the sauce in town, but it also is effectively just one big billboard. So, not the most aesthetic build ever, but that's alright. We're not here for aesthetics today. We're here purely for functionality. So I do want to just quickly give it a quick little test run. Let's go a couple of Chelsea's ought to do. In fact, that's probably too many than I actually wanted. Get their attention. However, well, I mean, they're pathing along it, which is good news. Yep, there we go. They're going up, they're going down, they're going through. So they still see it as a pathway, which is good. So maybe the Fun Pimps have actually done what I thought they've done, in that they've just gone in and said, right, zombies can now path along steep wedge tips without actually programming in that it's a half a block. So like right now, they should see that as having their path blocked, but apparently not. They're getting all kind of crammed up in like a traffic jam at the end over there. That seems to be working perfectly. The wall's pushing them over where they can't actually walk on it, and they're falling down to the bottom. Well, I mean, listen, I've only been going for a couple of minutes, but I think we have success. We can just like leave that one there. All right, well, it turns out the killing corridor is still fine. So, GG, Fun Pimps, but better luck next time. Maybe you guys could just come to me when you work on something better. You know, when you've got something new for me, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna leave this one here. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have fun. All right, enjoy killing the zombies, guys. I'll see you next time. Nah, I mean, clearly I'm not going to leave the episode there. There's so much more to do and to test, but that is good news for us. Seeing that result there, I mean, that works. And ostensibly, that does actually get a result. There is a bit of an issue that the zombies, especially when there's like a big wave of them like that, they get all kind of crammed up over here, like the single file corridor. That's going to have some issues, I think, just because the zombies get stuck on each other and take swings at other zombies and inadvertently break the base. But even with that, if I go get like a hammer out somewhere, get a claw hammer, just see what kind of damage was done to the base itself. Again, this is only flagstone, nothing special, but like that stood up to a couple of swings like that. So if you like upgraded that to cobblestone or cement or steel or whatever you wanted to do, like that's going to be the weak point, you know, like that bit there and probably the drop over there are the parts you want to make as strong as possible. But I'm going to keep it all flagstone for now. What I am kind of curious about, because this looks bloody ugly down here. I don't like this like extra little drop here. It doesn't actually affect the game at all, but I'm curious. Because if they've just kind of said that this block now has pathing, maybe they haven't actually like specified like the orientation of it or how it has the pathing. Just said zombies can walk on this, full stop, hashtag enter, you know, alt enter or whatever it is to actually like input code, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done a scrap of coding in my life. But if I get the same, no, that's the wrong button, go here, shape, get the same wedge tips again and bang them up, in fact that's the right orientation already, bang them up like that, it's going to give it a nice like streamlined effect to it, which I kind of like a whole lot better, and hopefully it'll still run the same. Like even if it's like the function of it is still the same, the zombies still see it as a path, walk up and fall down, I don't mind so much. Just if it does that and it looks better, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. Look, it looks so much better than it did before. That's so much better. If this works, then I will have a galah for breakfast. Up we go. I'll feed it to my bloody kangaroo. There we go. Get your attention. Turn on your AI. Yep, there we go. They're going the right way, so they still see it as a path clear. That's the first test down. Are they going to fall? Fall for me, baby. Get down low, Chels. All right. So I guess my job here is done. The killing corridor. You just can't beat it, apparently. You can try and close the doors, Pimps. You can try and come out here and block up, patch up all the holes with your tongue and your thumbs, but always find another way to do it. It turns out it wasn't even that far to go. Oh, just stop it. Just stop it. I love the battle we're having here, Pimps, but come on, give me a bit more credit. Just because I am curious though, I'm going to quickly just get rid of the whole like overlay bit we've got going on there. Clear all of that. I mean, they should, I mean, that should be easy for them to get across, right? But just because I don't like the big, like those big walls kind of thing. I have put walls traditionally on killing corridors. I was normally just to run the barbed wire though. But I just want to see what happens if I get just one Chelsea actually. That's all we need to see if she's just going to trounce across that. Like I'm expecting she will. If she can run across the slope of it, surely she can run across the flat of it. Come on, Chelsea, all the way across. Yeah, nice and easy. Okay. But we have that working. I'll leave that one like that actually. I'll rebuild the walls around it. But the other problem we're going to get with this is the destroy everything that they brought in for Alpha 19. I did see in the notes that there is now like a community effect to the destroy everything. So a zombie that falls has a chance to go into destroy everything, and also heightens the chance of the zombies around them to go into destroy everything mode as well. And if that happens, say goodbye to your pillars. Another good reason why you want to upgrade your pillars as well. All the crucial parts should always be upgraded as much as you can. But let's just go like this. I just want to go, I want to build myself a little sneaky like slope down here. The zombie slide, we've done it before in Alpha 18, but if we can get it working again in Alpha 19, that might be pretty good for us. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's go here. Man, I'm just putting blocks down for the sake of it now. I'm just ruining everything, but that's alright. Want to get it to a nice spot. Don't want to put the slope right at the bottom of the drop there, because they might stand on that and then try and jump across the gap. That's a risk I'm not willing to take. I'd rather start the drop or the slide a little bit further back and have them slide down and meet on the ground in a bit of a safer way. You know, looking at that though, I'm not super jazzed about it, so I might even just get rid of these ones here and just make the drop a little bit longer. So they can't run up and make the jump by themselves, but they might try and jump anyway, but not quite make it all the way across. Go there, copy rotation there as well. So that should work. So if you're unfamiliar with that, that is a zombie slide. The idea there is that the zombies will fall a little bit and then slide down and not actually go, like, have the drop be programmed through them so they don't go into the destroy everything mode. It's a little bit just like trying to kind of find a loophole in their coding, which all of this is, I suppose, but it's trying to make sure that zombies don't decide to break your base once they fall down, which is the destroy everything mode was brought in to try and get around it as well. So I'll try that one there for now. I need to rebuild the walls at the top though before I forget about it. But I don't know, if the slide still works, we may be on here. We maybe have a still very useful, very functional design without too much change. Alright, I think we're all good to go. That's all lined up kind of nice. Yep, we're good. We're cooking. Let's go a bunch of Chelseas like that. Now, I will test it with some other zombies as well, like whites and stuff like that, because that does need to happen, I suppose, to get the best out of it. Get rid of you. There we go. We're running. Get their attention. Alright. Yep, pathing's still going nicely. You're running over there for some reason. Can you not? Can you go where you're supposed to go? I spawned too many zombies in again. Oh, I forgot. I forgot about their whole, like, stumble or fall thing. That's only going to make it better. If a zombie falls and, like, gets stuck down the bottom and go all goopy like that, they're not going to start beating on stuff. Now, these ones are, though. So they're, see, that's what I mean. Those two have gone into destroy everything mode. So let's quickly, I reckon we can probably fix that. So if I go in here and just change these ones here and bring it all back a notch, that might make it better, because it means I'm going to get stuck up there and beat on the walls. They'll beat on the wall a little bit further down. Let's go here. Let's go on face. That one. That one. In fact, that's a bit higher than I probably should have gone, but it should hopefully still work. Get the other shape as well, the other form of the wedge, that one there. This is the thing. This is all you got to do to try and figure it out. Just kind of have an idea, find a weakness, and exploit it as much as you can until you figure out like a repeatable design that's going to do it every time. There we go. That should be enough. Get their attention again. Fire the gun. Turn that AI back on. You need to stop. All right. How are we looking now? That's a... She took the slide. You broke your knees. But importantly, they're not getting stuck at the top of the slide there and beating on stuff up there. They fall down. They slide down. They get confused and they go back to the start again. You're getting mad at me, but that's all right. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not as perfect as the killing corridor was back in Alpha 17. It never would have been once they brought in that destroy everything mode, because you always run that risk of a couple of them deciding to beat on shit. But that's only a temporary state for them anyway. Eventually they get bored and run back to the start, and so far it's looking pretty good. I think actually you wouldn't need the top up here. Like if you just did it too high and put some sort of like roof or something on it, like some bars or whatever over the top, that would be fine. Just because it helps the lines a bit more when you don't have it quite so high. That looks a bit better, but there's one more thing that I do want to test. How long have we been going for? Not long at all. Wow, we really did not spend long trying to figure out a replacement of the killing corridor. It didn't take anywhere near as long as I was expecting it to. Now I'm sure in Alpha 19.1 or 0.2 or whatever the next update's going to be, that should be a relatively easy patch for them. I mean, I'll even tell you how you can patch that. You stop the zombies even thinking the wedge tips are paths at all, just like they don't think like poles and stuff like that. Like they don't think arrow slots are paths, and then suddenly you have a way, like you can't exploit them like that. Yes, you can make like areas that you can cross that zombies can't. You can already do that with the arrow slots anyway, but that would stop this actual design working. So patching that out is an inevitability that we'll come back and find a new one. But before I wrap this one up and say that this is a working design, I want to get rid of one side of this and expand it out to be a 3 wide corridor. 2 wide is great, but as you saw, a lot of the time the zombies getting caught up on themselves at the entryway. So if I make that a little bit wider, that should like ease the traffic jam. They should still fall down just fine, but it might mean they stop getting caught up on each other and ruining the front of your base. So, pretty simple really, it's just the same thing, but now we have like a solid block through the middle here, you can see that is unobstructed at all. There's nothing down there at all, so the zombies should run up and kind of stick to the walls, because that's where they think the path is, because in their mind, if I see if I can show you real quick, in their mind, they're thinking they're running along something like this. Get rid of that one there and just bang in a full block. That's what the zombie pathing is thinking they're seeing. So that's where they're going to run, not in the middle, but on like the edge of that one. But of course, we know that there isn't actually something there. So go like this, get the copy shape back and copy rotation as well, put you back. Now, if I was doing this in like an actual survival world, like this will work for probably day 7 and probably day 14 if you're lucky, but it's not really going to go much further than that. And I would get rid of the zombie slide and put a pit down the bottom. So when they fall down, if they do go into destroy everything mode, they'll just like hit the sides of the pit rather than coming up and destroying your supports. You would have to give them like a path out to run, like probably some stairs going back this way, heading back to the start again to give them a way to continue their loop pathing. But that, I mean, that's just kind of how I would do it. You can do whatever you think is the best, but if you do something and it breaks it, try something else. Clearly, don't message me and say your design doesn't work when clearly you just built it in the way that didn't work very well for you. So I'll leave it how it is for now and see how the zombies part of that. If this one works, I'll spawn in some whites, because the principles are the same across all the zombies. Just someone are faster, they jump further, so I'll spawn some whites, some spiders, some dogs, all that kind of stuff. Just do my due diligence in testing everything, and we'll see where we end up at the end of that one. If I didn't spawn zombies on top of my head, that'd be so much better. Get rid of all of you out there, please. Get off me noggin. Why are you spawning on me nose? Go spawn out there a little bit. Give me some space. Social distancing, Chels. Get it about you, bitch. Come on, get off my noggin. Here we go. They're running down. They started like right next to me, so that's good that they ran the long way to get to the path. Coming back and... Oh, they stuttered for a second, but it's alright. They got down there eventually. They flopped down to the ground too. So far, so good though. Yeah, nah, that's fine. That is all hunky-dory. Okay, well, while we're at it, let's get some feral whites. Yep, sure. Get a couple of those going. Let's get who else do we want out there? Let's get some dogs, zombie dogs. Let's get some spiders. Let's get a whole bunch of them going to see how we go. Now, the spiders are going to be interesting because the way that the spiders work, they will jump to try and land next to me, as you can see, like that. And some of them do actually succeed. But if I had some walls up and, something to kind of block their way, you just gotta be smart about that, you know? Have like some bars in front of you or whatnot. Stop the spiders being able to land next to you and you should be fine. But, I mean, all of this seems to be going just all fine. The white noodles and stuff, they're slowly breaking these blocks over here. But I mean, it's flagstone, it's gonna happen eventually. They have been swinging at those things for a little while. But like, all said and done, it's not as perfect as it used to be. I never said it was going to be, but it's working pretty bloody well. If you were up here, like, actively fighting, you could fend off this horde very, very easily. It's not going to be an AFK base. You can't just stand here all night and have no damage done to you or your base. You are going to have to shoot a couple of zombies and keep them off your walls like that. But as long as you do that, I can't see this going wrong for you. You know what? I kind of regret destroying the first, or like kind of expanding the first one into this one, because I think it actually ran better the first time around. So when we were running just like the 2 wide, I feel like that was doing a better job than this one is. Let's go clear selection, get rid of all of that. In fact, let's do it a slightly better way that might actually get rid of all the parts that I need. That was a little bit silly. You all the way down to like there, I suppose. So I'll rebuild the 2 wide ones that had the traffic jam, because it turns out they were still getting stuck there, but they were doing more damage getting stuck on each other here than they were before when it was just like the narrow slit for them to run through. To try and keep them from running up across the top like that, like I did last time, I'm going to quickly go and bang in some iron bars along the top. That should be good. Yep, we're laughing all the way to the donut bakery. Alright, I mean, look, that's not particularly tall, but still 2 tall, so that should be enough for the zombies to think they can get through. Let's get to some, let's go the whites. You know, the whites are like kind of the most feared of the zombies. I'm not going to test demos, because they path the same as all the other ones anyway. They're the same height as a white, so we can test the demo and the biker by testing the whites. Yep, they're running over that way. That looks good. Now, I just want to see if they get caught up on the front here again, or if they'll run straight through. Yeah, see, I feel like that was way smoother that time than it was before. I've also got rid of the zombie slide down the bottom as well to stop them landing on that, now that they can't actually stand on that. To stop them landing on that and start standing up and beating on stuff. They now fall all the way down straight away. I love that. I love that every time. I mean, but yeah, that seems to be going pretty well. Let's get some more zombies out there. Let's get some dogs, zombie dogs, get a couple of those. Let's get some Chelseas as well, get a couple of those. Is that going to work? I mean, that should be fine. Now, we know with the spiders, I talked about it, you have to build yourself like a cage over there to keep yourself safe. If you build it so they can't jump up from down there, they will run up to the top here and try and jump across. But if you have a roof on it, they won't be able to get across. Yeah, so there's still a little bit of damage being done. Just a little bit, but like, that's just because the zombies are getting stuck a little bit and beating on stuff. The actual mechanic of the killing corridor, the wedge chip drop, is still fine and working all hunky-dory. That's fine. That is A-okay with me. They're all running around like the Muppets that they are. And I'm standing over here, naked as the day I was born, because apparently I was born in underwear, just watching them be galahs. That is perfect. I'm so happy that still works. There's just one more thing I want to test before we wrap this up. That is with the arrow slots. There's an easy way to see if these are still exploitable like they were in Alpha 18. So the zombie force field, where you can build like the entry to your garage with some arrow slots over a pit, has to be 3 deep. I don't know why I said 3 like that. Rock on. But if you build it 3 deep and put some arrow slots over the top, then the zombies won't see it as a path, and you can have a way for you to get in and out of your base without them coming up and beating on your garage door. So super useful, super helpful. So the easy way to test if that's going to work again is just to build like a wing out like this all the way around to me. Let's go like that. In fact, let's go that way. Is that actually going to work as a test? Because they might still see like the straight across like that. That is actually going to be the quicker path in their mind. All right, I take it back. That's not going to work at all. How about if I go like this and I just break down, actually, no, I'll turn this into like a proper actual path. The longer way will be the real path, and then I will turn this into arrow slots. That way I will know if I take the normal path around the long way, the arrow slots are still broken. Alright, so that should test it pretty nicely. We've got the arrow slots across here, so I can still run in and out of there, but the zombies should run around the outside like that, like 2 trailer park girls. That shouldn't be an issue at all. So let's give that a crack. Let's just go with the Chelseas. Now, I mean, I've seen people talk about how I should test with other zombies if I can actually spawn them where they need to be. It doesn't matter what zombies you test it with. All the zombies run on the same AI. The only ones that have anything different are the ones that have different attacks. Like zombie cops have the vomiting AI. The zombie spiders have the jumping AI kind of stuff. So that's the only way you ever really get anything different out of that. Let's get rid of all you guys. I don't like that you're kind of spawning in weirdly now, but I'm going to have to deal with it as we go. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. Let's put my body up where it needs to be. Pop out of my body real quick. Fire the gun. Get their attention. Alright, here we go. So, straight up they go. Now, if they turn left or right, we know. There we go. That is proof in the pudding. They will avoid the shorter, faster route of the arrow slots and come and get me the long way because they do not see the arrow slots as viable terrain. We're good. We are all good. Those are the 2 major things we took out of Alpha 18, the Killing Corridor Wedge Drop and the Arrow Slot Force Field, and they both still work. You just got to tweak it just that little bit, but that's not too hard. I mean, I'm sure by this point, given it's been like a week since Alpha 19 dropped, there's plenty of videos out there with plenty of different zombie like AI hacks and stuff like that, exploits you can take advantage of. I'm sure other people have got to that before I have. But the point of the Killing Corridor, in my mind, is to be a simple and easy to build base out of any resource that makes it easier to fend off the zombies. And I feel like we've achieved that with this. It's not as easy as it used to be. It's slowly getting harder. The fun pimps are slowly winning and taking away all our fun, all our cheesy goodness, because cheesy goodness is great, not just on pizzas, but also in zombie apocalypses. So it's slowly getting to the point where it probably won't work eventually. But for now, it is still a viable option. So I'm going to have to leave this episode here. This video comes out, I think, just after day 7, probably before day 8 of Extinction. So tomorrow, we'll be back to the normal playthrough series. So get ready for that, starting a whole new week where it's going to be... I mean, day 7 didn't go particularly well for me, which you would know by now. So enjoy day 8 tomorrow, but I'll have to come back and further break the AI and continue playing through 7 Days to Die in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to all the patrons on Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.